They called it the Royal Wedding of America. But Jeff Bezos' $50 million Venice extravaganza may have set a new record for dividing a city, outraging locals, and putting wealth on full display. While Bezos and Lauren Sánchez partied with A-listers on gondolas and super yachts, protesters lined the canals with banners, chanting that their city wasn't for sale. This wasn't just a wedding. It was a spectacle that laid bare the clash between the world's richest and everyone else. And the chaos it unleashed has everyone talking. What does the man behind Amazon do when he wants to celebrate love? He rents out Venice, Italy. Or at least that's how it looked to locals as Jeff Bezos prepared a 3-day wedding that kicked ordinary Venetians out of their own spaces. The plan was as outrageous as it was secretive. Elaborate masquerade balls, foam parties aboard Bezos' $500 million yacht, and hidden themed events requiring exclusive invites. Attendees were shuttled around by private water taxis, whisked to undisclosed venues while the rest of Venice watched in disbelief. The estimated cost? Around $50 million, enough, critics pointed out, to make a serious dent in issues like hunger or homelessness. But Bezos had different plans. Instead of solving the world's problems, he chose fireworks, floating cocktail hours, and parties where guests wore masks worthy of a Renaissance carnival. Yet, if you thought the spending was the only shocking part, the invitation itself told a bigger story. A wedding that stops a city naturally needs guests who make headlines. Bezos delivered. Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, Kendall and Kylie Jenner, Kris Jenner, Oprah, Tom Brady, Orlando Bloom, and even Ivanka Trump arrived on nearly 100 private jets. Each celebrity was assigned a color-coordinated mood board, so their outfits would match the theme of the day. Every detail was calculated to create the perfect images for the world's press, yet the invitations shocked even the rich and famous. Leaked online, they looked painfully basic, cheap fonts, childish butterfly graphics, and a layout more reminiscent of a third grader's PowerPoint than a billionaire's celebration. Critics flooded social media with jokes like, "Money can't buy taste," and "Did Jeff design this in Microsoft Paint?" It wasn't just a meme, it became a symbol of the wedding's contradictions, limitless wealth paired with questionable choices. But the people of Venice had bigger problems than bad graphic design. As billionaires and reality stars streamed into the city, Venetians realized they were about to pay the price for Bezos' party. Traffic on the canals slowed to a crawl as private boats clogged waterways. Streets were blocked by security. Some residents found themselves unable to access their own homes due to closed-off alleys and piazzas taken over by party planners. The activist group, Extinction Rebellion, organized protests with chants of "No space for Bezos" and banners reading, "Venice is a living city, not a venue for rent." Small protests began weeks in advance, but they escalated as wedding guests arrived. Protesters even threatened to throw themselves into the canals to block Bezos' celebrity fleet. The outrage was about more than inconvenience. It was a battle cry against a world where the ultra-rich can buy their way through anything, even a historic city. But the protests didn't stop at chants and banners. Venetians got creative in their fight to reclaim their city. Activists threatened to flood the canals with inflatable crocodiles, creating a surreal blockade that would strand Bezos' guests. Others launched floating mannequins of Jeff Bezos hugging Amazon boxes stuffed with fake cash. These displays mocked his immense wealth and reminded onlookers of Amazon's history of exploiting workers. One group even unfurled a massive banner with Bezos' name crossed out in red from a bell tower overlooking the Grand Canal. They plastered posters and stickers across the city calling for protests every weekend until the wedding was over. These small acts of defiance turned the wedding into a symbol of a larger struggle over the power of billionaires. And their efforts didn't go unnoticed. Reports suggested Bezos' team changed some venues last minute because protests threatened to block access. Protesters claimed a small victory, proving that even the world's richest man couldn't silence their outrage completely. Meanwhile, the city's leaders had their own priorities. The mayor of Venice praised Bezos' choice to marry in his city, pointing to the millions of euros that such an event could bring in through hotel stays, luxury dining, and media attention. He described Venice as a city born for diplomacy and trade, brushing aside protesters as a vocal minority chasing headlines. Behind the scenes, authorities ramped up security, paying police officers overtime to manage the influx of private boats and keep crowds under control. Parts of Venice were effectively locked down, with pedestrian and boat traffic banned in entire districts during key events. But residents questioned whether it was worth it. Would the short-term economic boost justify turning their city into a private stage for a billionaire's party? Guests were kept blissfully unaware of the chaos outside. One of the most bizarre twists was the level of secrecy. Guests were told where to go only moments before each event, ferried by Bezos' own water taxis to locations that remained secret until the last minute. No one was allowed to bring a phone, not even social media moguls like Kim Kardashian, ensuring no photos or videos leaked out from inside. Mood boards were the only clues guests received ahead of time, dictating what colors or themes they should wear. This obsession with control turned the wedding into an exclusive performance, carefully choreographed for maximum mystique. For some, it looked like a billionaire's fantasy. For others, it felt like a dark glimpse into a world where ordinary rules don't apply, where reality itself bends around the whims of the mega-rich. A senior Venice official told reporters that unless Bezos and Sánchez were already married elsewhere, their elaborate celebration wouldn't be recognized. Observers speculated they'd quietly wed in the US first, but some suggested Bezos might avoid marriage entirely to protect his fortune from a second costly divorce. This uncertainty fueled speculation about Bezos' motives. Was this really about love, or a performance crafted to reshape his image? Beyond Venice, the wedding sparked debate around the world about the power of billionaires. In a time of rising inequality, climate crises, and political instability, Bezos' lavish celebration felt like a stark reminder of the vast chasm between the ultra-wealthy and ordinary people. In the end, Jeff Bezos' $50 million wedding wasn't just a party, it was a mirror reflecting our world's extremes of wealth, privilege, and inequality. It turned Venice into a stage where billionaires and celebrities played out a drama watched by millions, even as locals fought to remind the world that their city is a home, not a set piece. Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that expose the hidden truths behind the glitz and headlines.